Hello, Abril. It is very glad to have you as the very first speaker of our section. So first of all, can you please introduce yourself a little bit?
Hello, so it's a pleasure for me to be here. I am Abril. I am an English teacher from Guatemala, and I've been teaching for 5 years. And I learned English in a scholarship called Access that was sponsored by the U.S. Department of State.
Do you want to share some facts about the exchange program that you have recently participated?
Of course, we were so I met Saul in an exchange program. We started on March 4th in Washington, D.C., and we were learning about social and emotional learning, some strategies, ways to assess it, and also different activities that we could do related to the social and emotional well-being of our students.
So as you have already mentioned about social emotional learning, can you please kindly tell me why it is important in the classroom and even for the students?
So social and emotional learning is very important in the classroom, not only for students, but for teachers, because it cares about the well-being of both of these roles, right? Students and teachers. There are certain activities and skills that you can develop through social and emotional learning, such as relationship skills, self-awareness, social awareness, um, responsible decision making, and we also have self-awareness. Yes, that those are like important skills that students can develop through these strategies. And so it helps English speakers and human beings in general in education because like you cannot develop like language skills or any other skills without having these basic skills in your life. And these are skills that are for children, but we also learned that there are other skills for the teenagers and adults, such as confidence, which is very important to have in general in life. So these are like life skills that can help you develop uh, your own self for like your professional development.
You mentioned you can use these techniques in different level of study. So can you please kindly mention what are some of your favorite ways of implementing SEL in the classroom?
So, in my experience, like I didn't know before the training that I was applying social emotional learning in my classroom. But some of the things that I used to do with my students was we had like a board with like brown bags with the labels of the names of my students, and we used to like have compliments every week. So it's a way of reassuring their self-confidence by like receiving compliments from their peers every week, such as like you're a very hardworking person, and I admire you because you helped me a lot in my English skills. You can leave like a small card anonymously to a partner, and so when students receive that, they realize that they have many skills, and so they increase their self-esteem and self-confidence. And there is also another activity in which students choose how to greet the teacher. Like usually we here in Latin America we like a lot of hugs and hugging, but I have had some students that don't like to be hugged. So I think that that is also like kind of self-awareness, and also it's part of building a social awareness that you have to like treat others as they ask you to treat them. So we had like different ways to greet students. We could like just give a high five or a hug, or we could just like wave so that they feel confident and they feel comfortable with the way that they are being received in the classroom and the way that they approach their classmates as well. So that's another strategy that I used to do. And I also like in the readings that we had in English, I also like to have them think about themselves and also the world. So, for example, if we were reading about climate change or we would think like how it is affecting first our community and then yourself, like in your house. So those things are also related to social and emotional learning because they help you be aware of your environment and your own self at the end. So activities like that are some examples that I have with my students.
Thank you so much for sharing those activities, and they might be very useful for the viewers as well, and I really appreciate them. So, can you please tell me how you're going to improve your teaching by using SEL in the classroom?
I think that after the exchange, I could gather a lot of ideas that I would like to put into practice with my students, especially related to relationship skills. As one of the soft skills from this skill is to uh, to resolve conflicts, and I think that that is very important, especially in my context, because the students that I have um, are teenagers in risk to migrate to the United States. So I'd like them to think on like critically and to also think on themselves and their community and their well-being as well, to make sure that they take responsible decisions and they solve the problems, uh, and that they have first with themselves and with their community. So like kind of encouraging them to work first, like bottom up, right? So and also that uh, these strategies, as I mentioned, like the ones that make you feel welcome and well and safe in the classroom, can also help them to create the same environment in their own homes and to create it in their schools or in their with their like circle of people that they trust, so that they don't think much on like escaping the country, but like staying here and creating a safe environment for themselves here. And so I think I will put into practice a lot of strategies that I learned to develop these skills so that they create this environment of trust and well-being for them. And I think I will also put it some things into practice for myself as a teacher. Like sometimes we forget that social and emotional learning is also for the educator, for the facilitator. And so I would like to put into practice this skill so that I also take care of my well being and so that I can be stronger for my students. And so I think that these strategies to take care of yourself and to take care of others will help me a lot in my teaching so that um, I can enjoy more the teaching aspect because sometimes we are overwhelmed and we stop enjoying it. But like learning about self can help you like develop many ideas. Like you can become very creative with just the principles. Like just by learning the skills and the principles, you can become very creative on how to take care of yourself and how to take care also of your students' well-being.
I totally agree with you because well-being of both the teachers and students are very important, and we need to adapt SEL as much as we can in our environment. So, Abril, thank you so much for your time and for your sharing, and I really appreciate to have you here. So, for the final question, is there anything that you would like to add more, or that you would like us to know more about your teaching or about your culture?
So thank you. So now it's been a pleasure for me to be here. I'm sure that a lot of teachers are going to enjoy these talks, and I would like to encourage them to put into practice social and emotional learning in their own classrooms. I know that it's hard because sometimes we think it's like an extra job that we're adding into our responsibilities, but it isn't. Actually, it is very helpful, not only for ourselves, for our students. So I would like to encourage all the viewers to put into practice social and emotional learning and to gather with other teachers as always doing, right, to look for advice and so that you don't do all the work by yourself, but you can get like create a network with your with the teachers in your institution so that you can brainstorm ideas and come up with new ideas for your students and for your own self to put into practice. So it's just for me to motivate everyone. I guess that I think I don't have as many things to say as to encourage you uh, to put into practice this, because I'm sure it will help you and it will make your teaching better. And so there are also a lot of ideas online, so we don't have to invent something that is already done. So also try to put into practice the ideas that are online so that we can enjoy our job better.
So thank you so much, Abril. And this is the end of our interview and see you very soon. Bye bye.
Thank you.